Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and what I got for you today is a review of the new X130-T. Now, looking at the X130-T, you can see, yes, this appears to be an FPV flyer, and actually it appears to be a micro FPV racer. It includes a 32-channel, all-in-one FPV camera. It doesn't actually say what the milliwatt transmission power of this is, so I have no idea. I'm going to guess it is 25 milliwatts because most are. But what's special about this is, you know, even though it's a toy grade and it's a low-cost toy grade, especially for what you're getting here, you're getting a carbon fiber frame, 20 motors, big 10-20 motors to power this. But again, it's all ready to fly out of the box for around, I believe it's around $75 is current retail price. That'll probably go up or down in the future, we'll see. But again, you know, it's hard to get a ready-to-fly system like that for that price range, and I think that's what XK is trying to do. Again, it has carbon fiber frame, as you can see here. There's its electronic speed controllers for brushless motors. That's unusual. I've never seen that. Oh no, those aren't electronic speed controllers. Those are LED bars. That's got to be LED bars or lights. Other things about this is, you know, even though it is supposedly able to fly in Acro mode, I'm not sure if it really is Acro mode. They call it 6G and 3D flying. I think it is Acro. We'll find out here shortly, but that would be cool too if this is an Acro flyer, and I'm going to put it through its paces if it is such. One thing though about its control board, it is not configurable. Okay, you get what you get. You know, you can't go in there to Clean Flight and modify it and update it to see if, you know, the PIDs. You're going to fly with the PIDs that you get with this particular quadcopter. So that's the basics of the quadcopter. It comes with a 3.7 volt, 700 milliampere hour battery here. But going over the controller real quick, the controller is very basic too. The only buttons that you know, it has these buttons out here, they're actually inoperative. There's nothing telling what they do, and it doesn't have 3D mode, or it doesn't have headless mode or one key return. You know, it's all manual flying. As you can see here, there's no altitude hold, so you know you're going to need to be an intermediate flyer actually to fly this, unless you're flying line of sight 3D mode only, since it does have stabilized mode. But you go between 3D mode, stabilized mode, and Acro, which is what do they call that? I'm sorry, 6G is the stabilized mode, 3D is the Acro mode, and you go through that. It defaults first to stabilized mode, but you can go to Acro by pressing down on the pitch roll stick one time, and that will enter into what they call 3D mode, which is Acro mode. And it also has dual rates. This is particularly, I don't know how much it will affect Acro flying, but angle mode flying, it definitely would come into play, would give you greater pitch and greater roll control, allowing you greater speed. So that's the basics of it. Let me make sure on my cheat sheet that I didn't miss anything. Oh, yeah. This supposedly has 200 meter range with this transmitter. I don't see what the use is of 200 meter range for a micro FPV racer. And I really doubt that if this is a 25 milliwatt transmitter that we'll be getting 200 meter range on the FPV. But potentially with this transmitter, it can be controlled through line of sight out to 200 meters, if you can still see it at 200 meters. So let's go for a flight of this thing and see how it performs. Hope you enjoy the flight. Okay, I plugged in the battery into the back here, and we'll put it on the ground here. We're going to first start off with line of sight flying in 3D mode, turning on the transmitter, and it automatically binds to the quadcopter. Let's get it in the air so that you can see it flying. Going around and going right to dual rate by pressing. Yeah, it doesn't. Actually, it's nice kind of flyer. Now I put its prop guards on. I don't normally put prop guards on it because I want it to perform well. You know, prop guards do reduce the efficiency of the propellers, but I don't want to damage this quadcopter either, because I'm going to be doing Acro flying through the trees here shortly. So, okay, that's the quadcopter. Let's get it up close so you can see it. There's no flip button, So any flipping is going to have to be done while it's in 3D mode, or 3D mode. So let's land it first, and then we'll go right into its flight in Acro. So, okay, we're gonna try the 3D mode here. Going to Acro by pressing the right stick. There we go. We should be in it. Let's give it a try and see how this performs. Hope you enjoy this flight. Okay, give it a little throttle. Yep, definitely Acro. So yeah, XK has come up. Well, this one feels a little wild. Does it stabilize itself? No, it's definitely Acro. It's just that it spins. You're a little extreme. Let's try it. Yeah, it's I experienced this before, but you got to be real gentle with the Acro flying with this, because the way it is set up is it's like an accelerated input. You know, you give it more stick, and then it has like 2 rates. If you push it over too hard, it will really accelerate quickly. In terms of if you're giving a pitch and roll, you got to be real gentle with the sticks on this. It's not like you're flying a real Acro racer. In fact, I'd have a hard time going through those trees with this. But with that in mind, it is made, I believe, to do tricks. Let's go up and see if I'm right. Nope, I lost the propeller. I see the propeller in the screen. I'll get it on. Right there. Let me put the propeller back on, and then we'll give it another shot. Okay, I'm not having much luck with the Acro. Let's see if I can fly this in angle mode, in 3D, or angle mode, while using the goggles. Let's go back to the air. And angle mode feels much better. I'm going to second rate. I guess that's beginner's rate. Now with angle mode, I can fly this much better. The thing is, what I was having problems with, folks, is it's kind of hard to explain it, but it doesn't feel the same as if you're flying an Acro FPV racer. The way these controls are set up is that it's like it goes into 2 rates, low gear and high gear. If you give the pitch roll stick too much of a turn in one direction, it will go immediately from like slow reaction rate to high reaction rate. So, you know, it's very hard to fly it that way if you're accustomed to flying, you know, an Acro racer in normal, where it's more proportional. What I'm saying is it's not proportional at all. Now, if you put it in angle mode, on the other hand, it is somewhat proportional. So I am able to fly it like that. But I would not have been able to do that with Acro. Normally I can do that with other micro FPV racers. But I couldn't do it in 3D mode. So the 3D mode, I guess, is more for stunts when you want to get, you know, quickly apply high rate of roll or a high pitch, mostly high rate of roll to do rolls, but not for FPV flying. It was very difficult to fly at FPV that way in 3D mode, but not so much in 6G mode. It's actually pretty good flyer.
It's too low.
Hey, I got it. Let's go up again and show the area, and to show that you can use this. Actually, the camera has pretty good range on this. I'm going to go around the pole. Surprisingly good range. I couldn't fly most micro FPV racers that far away. I got a feeling that this camera is more than 25 milliwatts, folks. And maybe the reason they're not advertising it is because it is more than 25 milliwatts. Some countries don't allow you to do that. But again, they're not advertising what the transmission power is on this camera. I got really good range with it, I'm telling you right now. Let's go low to the ground. Well, it flies good in angle mode. It's a very good FPV flyer in angle mode. Let's bring it close to us. I got a breeze here of them fighting. You can see it wobbling a bit. That's the wind. There's my dog. Don't want to hit my dog. I don't know what the flight time of this is. We'll find that out too. But like I said, I'm getting really good range with the FPV.
Oops.
I guess that's the flight time. It's over there, folks. Let me see if I can find it with my goggles.
Okay.
Wait. It's over here, over here. I can see myself. Should be getting closer. Here I am. Hold on, folks. Let me put my hat back on.
I forgot.
Okay, is there any more power? The lights are blinking. Oh, and I lost the prop again. So that's going to be the end of the flight. Oh, there's the prop. Hold on. At least these props don't go very far. So we're going to do the remainder of the flight in line of sight until that dies. So all in all, folks, as a 3D Acro flyer, this is more for line of sight stunt fly. There goes my battery. That was it. The 3D 6G mode, the Acro mode, it is Acro, but it's a kind of weird Acro. You know, if you give it slow commands, you can control it in FPV flight, but it is somewhat difficult because if you go a little bit too far over, the thing will go from slow input commands to rapid input commands. So again, I think the idea is to do stunts like rolls and flips in line of sight flying mainly. In angle mode, it is a good FPV flyer. It felt very good actually. You know, I was able to go between the trees. So if you want this for FPV, it's mainly in angle mode. You want to fly it. So hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101 with the X130-T version. Hope you enjoyed the flight. Signing out.